All right, cyber traders, welcome on back here this Wednesday afternoon. Happy Valentine's Day officially to all the ladies in the trading room and of course on social media, that being at Cyber Trading You. Of course, great to see all of us here, ladies and gents alike. Great to see Margaret and Leda. Let me start off with the ladies inside our trading room. I saw Charlene just before, Kathleen, Ravina just before, Anna, Linda. Got a couple Kathleen's, mind you, so great to see both of them. We got a bunch of the ladies of CTU joining us here this afternoon, so happy Valentine's Day to them. Happy Valentine's Day to perhaps to the gents as well, though. Oh, Wendy, my apologies. If I didn't shout you out, Wendy, I was looking at the participant list. My apologies. Just catching chat right now. Wendy M., one of our longtime students here as well, and as well as Roseanne. There we go. All right, so alongside them, we got the gents. We got Jeff, we got Leroy, we got John, we got Scott, we got Larry, we got Tony, we got Yehuda, Terrence, Michael, all of our students and members there. Now, with that said, hey, hopefully it's all roses by you, because this has been a phenomenal day altogether. I mean, just once again, we've had another couple of different trades that have popped over 100%, let alone 500%, right? So obviously starting off with what's on the screen here, DTSS. This was more of a morning move. Hopefully got out in time on this one. Ended up running up from basically $4 or $5 in pre-market all the way up towards, well, just about $20, right? So this is where I say I sure wish I had my shares from $7 back, or at least, I wish I ended up holding on a little bit longer than I did. But it goes to show, though, that even on this stock, let alone all the others that we'll cover here, it's actually a really great week, even from last week, to look to make your days pay, to hit 1,000 a day or more. And we don't talk money too much in this trading room, because we don't like to discourage anyone that's brand new and isn't hitting that number just yet, or anyone that has difficulty on a consistent level. But think of it like points. Think of it like points. Well, $1 times 1,000 shares is $1,000. Okay, so we just got to make a dollar per share in terms of points, right? So this DTSS, if you were able to get in at 7 when it broke above pre-market resistance at the time, selling at 8, that's your dollar right there. This ran to 20, right? So, the thing is that we don't want to be on the top of the roller coaster looking on the way down. We typically know that around 10:15, 10:30 Eastern, we tend to see reversals within the stock market, let alone some of these stocks that we've been trading from the morning session. So, looks like this topped off a little prior to that. I mean, it moved up so much, right? So, it's tough to use that cyber clock exactly and hit 10:30 on the nose when it's up, an ungodly amount, as we'll be calling it. Like, this is still up 550%. It was up that much more earlier, 1,000+%. So lower high, lower low, you know the deal. And the stock ended up coming right back down. And hey, we say that you know the deal because you should, because look what happened even to this trade just yesterday, DBGI, right? Yesterday's flavor of the day came back down. Tony asking here in chat, was it halted several times along the way up the DTSS? It was after the market opened up. I'm sure it was. I don't have a count on it, but it definitely was. Probably a few times up, probably a couple times down. This is market open. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so actually, quick refresher here, Tony. This is not something you see too often. So this is actually a little show and tell. But this got halted right out the gate this morning. DTSS on the way up, looked good at the time. When a stock reopens off of an up halt, it is possible it can get halted going down, like right after. But it's pretty damn rare to see it gap down off the reopen like this. I mean, there's a difference, right? I mean, this got halted on the way up at 1272, and then it reopened at 1044 and shook down to 934. What a roller coaster, right? So, A, the first 3 to 5 minutes, we should not be trading any of this crap. B, well, really, from 9:10 to 9:15 Eastern, we should be getting out of our pre-market trades at that point, right? So it's easy to say that after the fact. This was not an easy trade afterwards, that's for sure. It had a big spread, had very thin liquidity out there. This is why I shout from the mountaintops that for new students of CTU, I understand it's easy to get caught looking at the shiny object in the room, but when it moves up too much, I mean, just too much just to begin with, but also too quickly, well, the order book thins out a lot. It becomes a lot more uncomfortable to trade. So, hey, maybe it could be attractive, like you could scalp it, get in and out fast. We're not trying to just scalp in and out microscopic. We're just trying to follow level by level. So if it gets to a point where the stock just becomes untradeable or the spread's opening up, it's not really worth our time. Hey, Richard here in chat also mentioning CETY. It's also on the gainer side there, up over 100% still. I was looking for a bounce on this trade, ended up getting a bounce, but man, this was not an easy trade coming off the run up. So ended up pushing up earlier in the morning, of course, more of a cheap stock. Again, the cheaper the stock is, it will typically get halted more frequent. So this probably got halted 5 times going up here, like every 5 seconds. Reopens up, gets halted again. Not really my cup of tea. So for as much as it got halted going up, I figured it was going to pull back. And I thought maybe for as much as it pulled back, we can get a bounce. So I had these 2 lines set up here. It broke right below 150, so 0 entry there. Well, it broke below 130 and then broke back above, and that generated actually a pretty decent entry for myself there heading into the early to mid afternoon. But again, though, like it's not really a stock that you could trust. It's not really a stock that we've traded frequently, or really, I don't think at all. I don't think we've ever really traded the CETY here in the CTU. Like, trust me, I would know. I'm here every day. I'll tell you if there's a stock we traded once or twice before, and also you could typically tell it based off of the, based off of the volume bars, perhaps that you may have. If you have a big spike of volume, 30 plus million, we'll probably traded on that day, but I don't really see anything there. All right. Now, what stocks are easier on the eyes? What stocks are easier to manage up and down, left and right? Well, hey, look at Lyft. You know that I've been shouting out Lyft from the mountaintops today. I mean, really from the jump. I'd missed out on the opening bell pop, but ended up leading to a beautiful test of support. I know I have a lot of, lines up here. Just focus on the purple, Valentine's Day, magenta, pink, purple, right here, 1575, because it's the same exact line that you see on the daily chart here. Pretty strong daily chart resistance, becoming daily chart support, at least for the time being here. And, across the morning, it led to a better bounce. And then even here now, breaking back over 16. So one of a couple trades I'm in right now looking at here for the afternoon. And you know what? It's just so tradable. I'm just going to put this on our list to begin here, the Lyft. All right. So for the afternoon, hey, what else can we see from Lyft? Well, we want to see it hold over 1595 to 16, namely here is support now. If it ends up just running up higher, I will be a happy camper. 17 was the level I was looking for earlier in the morning. A little disappointing. It ended up failing to top off there. It topped off right around 10:15 in the morning, right around that famed reversal hour, pretty much, but a little shy of that 17. So, if this ends up really working out, perhaps we can get there. But lower highs could be a lower low heading into the close, so just be mindful of that. I got my stop set anyway on this trade here. What else we got here? We got Charge Point, bottom right, folks. You can see right there. So Charge Point, we were calling out right before this meeting started too. I mean, if you just inside our live trading room, just look at the most 2 recent chats. Really, I know that Rich had ADIL up on the screen right before I started this meeting, so I mentioned that. But then I said Lyft retesting 16. There we go. It's a 1614. And now Charge Point, CHPT, retesting 230. What's the similar word in those 2 callouts or similar phrase? It's not just test. It's not just R, the capital letter R for resistance, but it's retest. It's retesting the level, meaning it's tested it once before, if not multiple times. And we're continuing to see more and more buying activity coming in here on this trade. So very similar to Lyft. I'm going to put Charge Point here, chip, as Fausto calls it, on our watch list here for right now. I mean, hey, he called it out really from the jump here this morning. It was a great call out from the morning, and hopefully there's more left to it. I know that a stock like Plug PLUG, we ended up trading on and off over the last couple of weeks. Another kind of like EG company perhaps, and this is getting a small little push, but not up nearly as much percentage wise. So what I'll do is go from top to bottom now, see what we could add to our watch list here. And just if there's anything else looking good, like maybe not up or down that much, like Plug, we'll come back to it. We're not coming back to this, that's for sure. This is the last that you'll see of this stock. Say bye-bye. TELO. Uh-oh, we got a new contender here, though. This thing just broke out out of freaking nowhere. It's only trading 173,000 shares. Do you think any real smart money at all is being traded on this stock right now. I mean, granted, if someone's trading it from $10 on like 100 shares, they're up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, but this is like really an untradeable stock based off of how little volume the stock is trading here. But this is kind of interesting, more of a afternoon pop like right now. But yeah, come back to it if I guess the order book somehow magically fills in on that trade. I am not expecting that. So let's keep it going, see what else we can get. The CETY. Hey, you know what's funny, folks? Actually, it's not funny. Well, hopefully you listened to this here. Hopefully you didn't go against this here. But I even told you earlier in the chat board. I wrote this earlier at 146. This should pop up for all of our students on the top right of your screen. I said I wasn't a fan of that CETY trade, at least after it ended up making the lower high, after it failed to at least push upward off of 150. And then I said from there, it wouldn't shock me if we see 80 cents soon on this trade. 80 cents just to see it kind of pull back down towards this consolidation here. And we are well on our way now. That's for sure. Yeah, we're done with this trade too. And we're done with a lot of these stocks, honestly, at this point. So, I just got to do my job, cross my T's, dot my I's, and just kind of sift across this gainer side here, see if there's a stock like, as we said before, Rich had up the ADIL. Hey, coming back to this, still looking really good. Actually, may break a new high right now. So it pulled back after we had first called it out, but really good trade here heading into the PM afternoon here. So ADIL joining our watch list here. This might get halted going up soon. It's not up like that 500% marker just yet. Don't look for 500%. Don't hold your breath waiting for that. You might be waiting a long time. But in terms of like where you might find the historical level, it's not 500%, but like 484, $4.84. That could be a strong resistance up top. Otherwise, though, I'm sure it has a ways to go to get there. $2 whole number level first. Yeah, you probably got something like that here around this area, 184. So this isn't even like out of the weeds just yet. This might false break 184 and then snap back down. Let's hope it could eventually hold above that as support and move up off of it. But, hey, for now, ADIL, definitely I'll add to our main list. Looks good. LRMR, we keep it rolling here, folks. What else we got? QBTS, nice little move. This ended up making a big pop from earlier this week from the jump on Monday, and then just pushing up here up towards 2 again. It doesn't hurt us to add this for our list right now, and then if we build up a pretty big watch list by the end of it all, we'll come back to everything and just kind of trim the fat a little bit, but Blink BLNK, a little slow. This one's at the highs though, so I kind of appreciate that. Again, I guess I'll kind of like be more lenient. I'll add a few stocks to our list, then we'll kind of just come back to everything and then kind of wrap it all up. Children's Place, I'm not really too jumpy towards, just with as much as it had dropped off, it did recover. It's shaking around a bit here. Not really too interested. It's like lack of direction in terms of the daily chart. SLDB. All right. So I think that's pretty much it, at least from the gainer side. There is a lot that is up more than that 5% I ask of you. So, hey, if there's anything else looking good, it could be up like 8, 10, 12%, folks. I'm not really finding it here on the gainer side because there is just utterly so much that is up percentage-wise right now. So just let me know. We'll hop over to the loser side here, though, just in the meantime. QDEL. Upstart was down a lot actually overnight, ended up making a small tiny comeback right across the early afternoon from 25.40 up towards 26.75, 27. For right now, I don't know if it's going to keep squeezing up. It's tradable, but for right now, I don't have a great need for it. Hawaiian Electrics, HE. This one was dropping off earlier today, or at least for the majority of the day up until now, starting to make a small little bounce here, but could still be a lower high. You know what, as far as like a potential short, I'd be interested in this, but then if it ends up flipping pretty much this area, 1235, 1240-ish, perhaps back into support, then maybe you get a small squeeze. But I'd look at the direction on the way down on this trade. Potentially a good short here on Hawaiian Electrics. All right. What else we got? Anything else looking good, folks? We got Boyle obviously breaking lower and lower and lower and lower. We ended up watching a couple of icebergs back on Monday this week, and it led to a small bounce actually. Like, wanted more, but it worked out at least as a day trade. Was not a swing trade recommendation. We like firmly said that. Stock breaking or ETF breaking all-time lows. So pretty silly to do that. Ended up continuing to drop, right? Leda asking ON going anywhere. That's up like 5%, right? $31 stock, though. You want something a little bit, not to say cheaper in terms of like $1, $2, right? But like, bang for the buck in terms of like if it's $31, I want this thing moving a lot faster. So there's probably a lot that looks just like this, right? That's the key. If every stock that looks like this we put on the watch list, we're going to be at like a 75 stock list here. So I appreciate it. Let's see if there's anything else looking good, though, at least making a better pop, pushing up faster. I don't really see it here. So that's just a clue right there. I don't really see it as far as the number goes. C4, familiar runner. We'll take a look at that one. That one actually has made a really strong move from last year. Trying to push back up. Obviously cheaper, moving up towards the high of the day, still maintains a good spread. Like that's the type of stock I'd kind of lean a little bit more towards in terms of efficiency with price. CLSK, it's not really doing it here for me today. Just like all the crypto mining stocks, I'm not really too partial towards them today. I mean, they're tradable. If you do well on them day to day and you don't like what's on the watch list, then you could jump to them. But for right now, I'd rather follow that other one that we just had. Take a look on BTAI. BTAI was a freaking perfect play and then some, and then some. Ended up moving up off the 256 level, bottom in red, that dashed red line on the bottom. That was a big level from earlier this week, back from yesterday, I believe it was. Ended up moving up 50 cents higher, if not more. And then, it filled a gap. Looking at the daily chart, basically filled a gap. I got out at 313, and at that, I thought it was going to stall out there, but pushed up actually a little bit more from that point. It's actually pushing back up towards that same price right now. You know what? I don't mind it in terms of, again, like kind of just, it's a little bit less expensive. We've done really well on this trade. If this could flip this 313 into support or pop it pretty nicely, that could lead to a higher high. All right. So what do we got here, folks? If there's anything else looking good, just type it in the chat right now, though. I think that we're pretty much just going to call it, though, otherwise. Just checking Benzinga Pro. I really don't see much more from their scanners. Keep in mind, Fausto will be on Benzinga Pro on their webinar series coming up tomorrow. So for all of our students, we'll post the link for that coming up. Go over the scanner here, the movers section. Going over just how to build your gainers and losers list on top. And then, of course, how to incorporate just following level 3, level 4 alongside with it. All right. So, hey, I mean, I think that's pretty much it, folks. We're just about good to go here heading into the afternoon in total. We got 2, 4, 6, 7 different stocks to work with. Yeah, that's pretty much all we got. So I like it here heading into the afternoon. Start with what we got here, folks. Lift over 16, still holding over that pretty nicely. Charge point 230, that's still sticking here, but let's see it make the pop up higher soon enough. And then alongside that, we have the others to work with on top. So, hey, best of luck trading going into the market close for any one of us on social media: Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. At Cyber Trading U is the handle. Just look to follow or subscribe right to our YouTube channel or any of our social media streams or platforms alike at Cyber Trading U. Or if you're interested in joining our live trading room, just scan that QR code on the top right of the stream. Get you week-long access to our live trading room. Myself, of course, Fausto, 35-plus year pro in the market, and alongside us, just all of our students and members alike there. But hey, I will be back on just coming up in about 10 or so minutes, folks. Talk to you all soon.